Hello everyone, our guest today is the winner of BBC's All That Glitters competition. Piers Carpenter is passionate about jewellery and has impressed the judges with his craftsmanship and determination to succeed. Let's welcome Piers to our Hive studios and find out more about his journey. Good morning, Piers, and thank you so much for being with us this morning.
It's my pleasure.
Can you tell us a little bit about your passion for jewellery? When did you first notice it?
So I probably first noticed it when I was fortunate enough to get work experience at a local jeweller's to me. But previous to that, I had also, when I was about 12 or 13, saved up all of my Christmas and birthday money. And in the same jeweller's where I ended up working, I went in and had a ring made, which I still have today, and it still fits, bizarrely enough. But anyway, so I went in and had that made. I've always liked jewellery, but it was on my work experience when I saw him, bending the metal and actually making pieces out of just raw metal. That I think that's consciously when I was like switched on and was like, that's what I want to do. But it's funny because we were looking through family photos the other day, me and my mum, and in all of them as a kid, I'd always have a piece of jewellery on, not, expensive jewellery, just beads. Every holiday we went on, I'd get a necklace or a bracelet. And you don't sort of really see that much. So I think actually it started a long, long time ago, but I only sort of clicked on when I was doing my work experience.
That's wonderful. And can you tell us a little bit about your experience at BBC and congratulations on winning All That Glitters?
Thank you very much. It was a bit of a whirlwind. It was, I don't know, it's just out of your comfort zone, isn't it, that the filming and everything, but as soon as I sort of sat down at the bench, that was my place where I just felt quite at ease. I'd have loads of nerves and I'd sit down at my workbench and then it would just ease. But yeah, whirlwind. We had to keep it, obviously the filming was done 9 months before the first episode aired on BBC Two. So it's almost like a dream because obviously I know what happens, but no one else does. So yeah, when it actually came about, people were saying, "Oh, well done, congratulations," and it was just like, "Oh, thank you." But it still now feels a bit surreal.
And what has been the impact on your career?
I've had, before this, you'd usually go to your local jeweller and sort of have more face-to-face interactions, but I've had emails from all over the country for bespoke pieces. It pushed me a lot going on the show to start designing things, and I've started a website and that's selling pieces. So I don't know, it's really nice to know that the things you're making people do want, if that makes sense. I don't know, it's just a really sort of wholesome feeling.
Who are your favourite jewellers and why?
I don't really have a favourite, I would say. I think we're spoilt for choice, really, especially sort of me learning through antique jewellery. When I was working in the antique jewellers, I fall in love with the piece. So it could be Georgian, Victorian, Art Nouveau, Art Deco, arts and crafts. We've got such a rich historical styles that go all through. So no one person's lived through all of that. So I couldn't say, them, but I sort of more fall in love with the piece. You look at it and you think, oh wow, and then you handle it, you pick it up, you look at it more closely and you're like, oh wow, now that's something special, which is the sort of things that I want to try and make. But if I did sort of nail it down to one person, and it's not really a person, it was multiple, but Cartier, 1910, 1920s and 1930s, it's just perfect, really.
And what advice would you give to someone who's now aspiring to become a jeweler? Because obviously it's a niche market, it's quite hard to get into.
Yeah, it's really hard to get into, being on the bench. There's a university in Birmingham which is very good, but I can't really vouch for any other way than what I've done myself, which was to get an apprenticeship. And for me, working 5 days a week at the bench, that done wonders for me, because it's muscle memory. It's looking at jewellery, every little thing you see, it all goes in to an archive. So instead of looking at something one way and thinking, oh, I don't know what to do, you'll think, oh, well, I saw on a Georgian piece, they done it like that. And then you think, oh, I can do that. But on a modern piece, it's a lot. But I think perseverance, if you want to get into it, perseverance is always the way. Before I got taken on, I built a bench at home. I bought all the basic tools, and I taught myself on YouTube videos. But I think you have to show the determination and the perseverance, and you can only do that if you start with the passion. So passion, perseverance, and you will get there.
Do you have any plans for the future that you can already share with us?
I'm just sort of riding the wave at the moment and trying to find my feet. I have had some offers from some big sort of jewellery houses, like big names, to work in their workshops. But for me, I think when you work for someone like that, you have your brief, you have what you've got to do, and that's what you do. It's their design, it's their, it takes the freedom and the creativity out of it, in my opinion. So for me, I'm probably going to stay on my own. Might be the wrong decision, we'll find out. But I think everyone wants freedom, don't they? And the freedom to create is pretty close to the best thing that you can have. So I don't want to give that up. So yeah, just keep making interesting things and all the things that I want to make.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Piers, for being with us.
It's my pleasure.
And thank you for watching.